All right, the wireframing for the high resolution layout is complete. So we're ready to move on to the next device, the medium resolution wireframe. And of course, this will make use of our medium resolution media query as well. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take my browser and I'm going to scale his width down until I see the green background, something like this. Now you can scale yours down as narrow as you like, so long as you don't go into the third media query, the low resolution. So somewhere in here is fine, or a little bit wider is fine, whatever you like. It's really entirely up to you, okay? So long as you're getting this green background, because that tells us that we're inside the medium resolution media query. Now let's go and set this guy's wireframing up. So I'm going to flip back over to my external style sheet. For the time being, we are done with the high resolution media query. So I'm going to make sure that I'm inside the medium resolution media query. Now, just a quick aside, this can start to get a little bit confusing because we're really dealing with three sets of CSS rules, three lists of CSS rules. So you really want to make sure that you're inside the correct list before you start working away. So I'm going to make sure that I'm inside my medium resolution media query, of course, as I just mentioned. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to do something about that green background. So I'm going to change him to an RGB color value. I'm going to use my 244, 244, 244. Like so. And if you want, of course, you can go and preview that. There we go. So we get this light gray background here, which is nice, much more pleasing on the eye than that bright green. All right, the other thing that I want to do here before we go any further is I want to get the master ID selector set up, just like we did for the high resolution layout, okay? So I'm still inside, of course, the medium resolution media query. As a matter of fact, here's what I'm going to do to make this super easy for you to follow along. Forget everything else you see on screen except for where I am right now. There we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in my number sign and then master, okay, or hash mark master, all right? Now, I'm going to change this up a little bit. For the high resolution, we set a fixed width of 960 pixels. This time, I'm going to set a scaling width of 95%, okay? So what I'm saying is that I want my overall layout to be 95% of the overall device's width, okay, whatever that width might be. So long as it falls, of course, between 481 pixels and 1023. So there we go. Don't forget your closing semicolon on the end there. And let's see, I want to center this guy inside the medium resolution device as well. So I'm going to use the good old margin 0 auto trick, okay, which we've seen a couple of times already. I'm going to stick a border on this guy once again. So border 1 pixel, solid, and I'll set my border to black using RGB color values 0, 0, and 0. Okay. And let's see, I think that should just about do it. Let's do a quick background on this guy as well. Background RGB, and let's see, I'm going to go 255, 255, 255 for white. Okay, there we go. Go ahead and save up your work and head over to your browser and refresh. Remember, Controller Command R on your keyboard, or you can use your refresh icon or button way up on your toolbar. So this is how things are looking so far. So I can see the different background colors there, the light gray versus the white. I can see the frame for the master. And once again, this is a scaling width, right? So he's going to be 95% of the medium resolution device's overall width, okay? Which is quite different from what we did earlier on the fixed 960 pixel width. So it's kind of cool. You can change it up here. All right, good stuff. Now let's go after the header and then, of course, the main navigation menu and the rest of the medium resolution layout.